I'm going to be getting married here soon. I'm sure that you're jealous after hearing that.
What? I'm sorry, but who is this?
Oh, please. It's me, Tracy. Now enough with those bland lies right now. Even if you have troubles remembering things all the time, there's no way you'd forget about someone like me. How could you possibly forget about your best friend after being together for so long?
My best friend?
I am Tracy. This is literally no reason you should have forgotten about me, right? You and I have been best friends ever since high school.
Tracy, huh? Did you end up changing your number or something? Because I don't have anyone in my contacts with your current number. It's been so long since the last time we talked with one another, so I couldn't really tell that it was you. So, what do you want from me?
Well, I told you why I'm talking with you right now at the start, right? I'm getting married. Were you not looking at anything I sent you before?
Ah, is that so? Congrats. But you really don't have to go out of your way to tell me something like that.
Why not? You're one of my best friends, and I'd be stupid to not tell you about how I'm going to get married soon. And to me, you're my number one best friend out of everyone, so I just had to tell you.
I'm your number one best friend? What do you mean by that? Are you sure you're not joking with me now? What the heck is up with you texting me now anyway after so long?
I'm not at all joking with you. I just wanted to let you know that me, one of your best friends, is going to be getting married soon. I'm going to be marrying a wonderful man, and you should be jealous of that, right? That's why I want to have all my friends come and celebrate my big day, and I'll be giving you all the chance to do that with an amazing wedding.
Is that right? Well, that's great to hear, I guess. What else would you like me to say to you besides congratulations?
I'm sure you'd love to make up a welcome board for my wedding that we can place outside the venue, right?
What?
I'll let you make that up for me, however you'd like to, as long as it's really special. I know that you've always loved working on crafts and things like that, so I'll let you take the responsibility for that. Back when we were in high school, you did all sorts of paintings and things like that, right?
Wait, when you're talking about high school, that was over 10 years ago, Tracy. Asking me to get back into doing arts and crafts now would be difficult for me.
I'm not sure how something like painting a simple board could become so difficult for you. But this is a request from one of your best friends, so you're not going to say no to me, right? I want you to do your very best with that welcome board and make it look spectacular.
Can you hold on for 1 minute, please? What is all of this about? What the heck are you going on about, Tracy? Why do you want me working on some welcome board for your wedding? Shouldn't you be asking the reception hall to prepare that for you instead of me? They'll know a whole lot more about that sort of thing compared to me and will most likely have better tools for making it. Having me work on that board for you, well, it just won't come out as good as you think.
Even if it's difficult for you, I'd like you to work on it. Now, can you stop fooling around with me when I'm trying to plan things for my wedding?
Well, I'm also a little bit concerned about how you call me your number one best friend. Did you forget about what all you did to me a long time ago? Tracy, if you'd like for this whole conversation to be taken more seriously, can you calm down a bit and get real with me?
Let's just forget about what all happened back then. There's no point in us being held down by the past when there's nothing we can do to change it. If you continue to waste your time thinking about what happened years ago, you'll find yourself living with no reason.
I have no idea what you're going on about now, though. Even if you have a good point, I don't want to be hearing that sort of advice from you. I can understand why you'd like for the two of us to just forget about what you did back then, but...
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you at the wedding.
I'm not going, Tracy.
Do you want to go out for drinks or something as well before my big day? It's been so long since we last talked to one another in person after all.
I'm not going out to any place with you, Tracy. How many times are you going to make me say that before you understand? I'm not even sure what your plan is with talking to me after such a large amount of time has gone by. So please, just stop trying to ask me to come to your wedding and make whatever welcoming board you're asking for. Now, goodbye.
Dawn, are you really trying to get on my bad side?
Huh? What is up with you this time?
There's no way you'd actually be okay with making one of your best friends this upset on her wedding day.
Huh? So today's the day of your wedding then? I don't really care, but what do you think you'll be achieving by coming at me all upset like that?
I'm pissed off with you because you never even told me that you'd not be coming to my wedding. I'm no longer going to have the patience to forgive you after this. I'm cutting ties to you.
You are?
You making me this upset and being totally okay with it is enough for me. I even left you in charge of the welcome board for the wedding, yet you never showed up to give it to us to display.
What are you talking about? I don't even know anything about your wedding, like the time it's supposed to start, and even if I did, I wouldn't be making that board for you.
So you're telling me that from the start you'd been planning on canceling on me without ever telling me that? I cannot believe you'd be doing this to your best friend.
Oh my god. You seriously have zero clue what you're talking about right now, and it's making me laugh my butt off.
I'm talking about how you never told me that you wouldn't come to my wedding, but it's too late now since my wedding day is today. So I'm going to be cutting ties to you for good.
The fact that you're now this upset with me right now has me rolling on the ground.
What? You're being a total jerk laughing at me being this upset with you. I'm seriously pissed off with you right now, Dawn. I had entrusted you with one of the most important things at my wedding, and yet you canceled on me right before the wedding? Even if you're supposed to be my most best friend, I don't care. I'm going to be leaving you forever and will never forgive you ever again.
I'm sure this won't get to you, but from the start, I'd said I wasn't coming.
Huh?
Can you tell me again why you're getting so upset with me for no reason? Actually, I never even got a formal invitation from you to the wedding, so there's that. Where did you end up sending that invitation, if you actually did send it in the first place? I'm sorry, but that invitation never got to me, so you must have sent it to the wrong address. But of course, you had the wrong address because you don't even know where I'm living now.
What are you going on about? That's a load of crap. How did you never receive a physical invitation from me?
I'm just telling you the truth, Tracy. Did you actually try to invite me to your wedding after all that happened between us?
Of course I did. And why the hell would you say no to coming to my wedding?
That right there is a bit of a surprise to me and rather troubling. The fact that you wanted to actually invite me to your wedding of all things?
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
Way back when, in high school, you stole my boyfriend from me and continued to pick on me for the rest of our time at that school. And ever since we graduated from there 10 years ago, I had made sure to cut all ties with you so that I'd never have to see or hear from you again. That's why right now, hearing you tell me that you want to cut ties with me after not coming to your wedding today makes me laugh.
Huh? What do you mean you cut ties to me back then? Are we not really good friends with one another?
Oh, come on now, Tracy. You're actually going to make me pee myself laughing by calling us best friends.
So you really are stuck in the past that badly that you can't see me as your friend. Stop worrying so much about what happened back then, you emotional loser. I was able to forget about all of that only a few days after it happened. And as for your ex-boyfriend, him and I are no longer together, so you don't have to worry about him anymore. So why the hell are you still so upset with me?
I never said that I was upset with you still because of that event. That all has nothing really to do with me now, so I don't invest my time in thinking about it. And I think it's the right thing to do, not carrying those horrible memories around with me all the time. But what I do think about from time to time is how you ended up breaking things off with my ex after the two of you had gotten engaged. Things like that tend to spread around between friends, so eventually I have to hear about you. But what's wild is that after you had stolen my boyfriend from me way back then, you didn't want to make yourself look bad in front of everyone, so you started making lies about me being abusive towards him, and that you were only saving him from me. Rumors like that still float around to this day, and I have to hear them over and over whenever I run into someone from high school. Always things about you and I.
I never meant to make you look bad back then.
Well, it's fine, Tracy. All that stuff is in the past now, right? I really don't care about any of that stuff anymore. And I'm not going to dig any deeper into the rumors that spread looking for things about you that I can take advantage of. It's all been water under the bridge, and that's why I've never come looking for you to talk about anything.
But who cares about all that? What I'm upset about right now is how you canceled on my wedding on the day off.
And I told you that I didn't get an invitation. I had cut ties with you a long time ago, or at least I thought I did, and that's why I never chose to tell you my new address after I moved. So that invitation was never going to make it to me, right?
So you're telling me that I sent the invitation to your old house?
That's what it looks like to me. I bet it's sitting in the mailbox of that place right now, still unopened. And I think that because you only know my old address and nothing about where I currently live, it might even end up being sent back to you soon if the new owner of that house decides to give it back to the mailman. But let me be very honest here. Even if that invitation had gotten to me like you'd planned, I would have said no to coming because I don't have the want to be around you.
What? What do you mean?
You know what I mean, Tracy. I told you that I cut ties with you before. So no matter how hard you try to get me to come, I'm not going to. I'm sure you've noticed by now that a lot of your so-called other friends haven't shown up, right? After what you did to me in high school, you lost a lot of your friends because they were on my side and thinking that you were totally bonkers. So tell me, who from back then actually wants to celebrate you getting married now?
Hold on, Dawn. You actually think that? Are you and I not best friends?
How many freaking times do I have to tell you that we are not best friends? We're not even friends, Tracy. Hell, we're not even acquaintances. Ever since that day you chose to steal my boyfriend from me, you had used that as a reason to pick on me and spread rumors about how I was the one that was in the wrong. All of that really drove the message into me that you are anything but a friend to me. I know from word around town that you love to go around and have fun with all kinds of men after becoming an adult, but you still like to call that event your biggest accomplishment, right? All of those are reasons for why I do not want to be around a person like you anymore.
Well, I didn't know that I hurt you so much back then. Even after taking your boyfriend from you, I thought that you and I were still very good friends. Best friends. That's why I told you about how I was getting married and asked you to be one in charge of making the welcome board for my wedding.
Asking me to make that stupid board for you was like a massive joke to me because of how ridiculous you were being. That's why I took all you said to me as a joke and didn't bother to care.
Why would I tell you a thing and ask of you as a joke?
Oh? So then all of that wasn't just a joke, but you actually thinking that I would be coming to your wedding and wasting my time on something as stupid as that board? Which is scary because after all you'd done to me, you really thought it was okay to invite me? I never thought anyone that could steal their friend's boyfriend in the past and then make said friend look like the jerk would have the nerve in asking them to come to their wedding 10 years later. That's why I wasn't taking anything you said to me seriously. You really did a great job, Tracy. The nerves you have are incredible. Now, you have a great time at your wedding today. Although I don't expect many of your so-called friends to show up to it.
What the hell is wrong with you, Dawn? So you really don't plan on coming here today? This is the day of my wedding, Dawn.
I said that I'm not coming.
But canceling on me the day of my wedding is horrible of you.
So after talking with me for the past 30 minutes or so, you haven't been reading a single thing I've sent you? I never got a formal invitation from you in the mail, so I had no reason to come to your wedding today. So you can't call me a horrible person for canceling on you today when you never even gave me an invitation in the first place.
But to me, you've canceled on me. I really believed that you'd be coming today and made sure to get you a seat ready in the front row.
Why, though?
You're asking me why? Because you should have been coming to my wedding today.
Did you ever get anything about me RSVPing to your wedding at all? No, you didn't. And that's because I never got anything from you in the mail saying that I was invited. Why would you think that I was coming to your wedding when I didn't RSVP for it?
I wasn't thinking that much into you not responding because I just assumed you'd be coming either way.
Well, when it comes to things like weddings, people are usually coming only if they reply that they will to the invitation and RSVP. But if you don't get a reply from them or they say no, that means they are not coming. Right? That's how things like this have always worked, Tracy.
What? So that's what things like not replying into the invite normally mean? Even if they're my friend?
For crying out loud, Tracy. Then tell me what you thought was supposed to happen. How did you know whether people were going to be coming to your wedding or not and prepare seats for those that would be?
I just assumed that people I sent invitations out to would be coming for sure to my wedding. I never thought that people would want to say no to the invitation.
Geez, how self-centered of a jerk are you? At this point, I'm surprised you even found a man willing to marry you. You actually think that because it's your wedding that everyone you invite would just give up their plans and anything else they have going on in life to come? There's no way that's the case. If you didn't get a response from the people you invited, that means they are saying no to coming. No response equals them not coming.
Well, I didn't know anything about that. Nobody ever even told me something like that.
Nobody would, because that's something that everyone knows the moment they're born, practically. Another thing I highly doubt is that you even knew everyone's current address. So it's a mystery as to how many of those invitations actually made it to the people you planned on inviting.
I thought that me getting married and having this wedding would have made it the biggest event for everyone. I wanted everyone to come and see how happy I've become and that I got married before all of them.
Jesus frickin' Christ. You thought that your wedding would be the biggest event for everyone? You think that your marriage means something to everyone?
But even if it's not that big of a deal, I'm still getting married before you, so... That's at least proof to everyone that I'm still more important than you and that they should all come and see me happy.
I'm already married though, Tracy.
Huh?
I just never bothered to tell you about how I got married to my husband last year.
You have to be lying, right? I never knew about you getting married. You never even uploaded anything about you getting married to any of your social media accounts.
You're right. I didn't make any posts about getting married, but so what? I'm normally never posting anything and leave most of that stuff to my husband to do. And you're not even my friend, so I think I blocked you on everything after high school.
What are you talking about?
Let me just put it this way. My husband does most of the posting due to his job, and you are blocked from seeing anything of mine, so you wouldn't have known.
What job does he have?
Well, he's pretty well known all over the world, so he's pretty picky about what gets shared. But I don't care about any of that because he's given me a wonderful life with our marriage. He's been so considerate and wonderful that I've never had to worry about what happened between us back in high school.
Then why are you acting like this? Why can't you just come to my wedding right now for me? I'm supposed to be your best friend and you should be celebrating my happiness.
You're supposed to be my best friend. I don't think of you as anyone but a stranger, so there's no way I'm coming to your wedding. I told you again and again that I didn't get any invitations from you in the mail, so I wouldn't be coming in the first place. And even now, I don't want to come. But you still keep going on and on, thinking that I'm your friend and that I'm going to come. It's freaking annoying. I've had enough of you now, so can you just shut up and stay quiet?
I'm sorry, Dawn. I want to apologize to you for everything, so could you please find it in your heart somewhere to make it to my wedding? If you don't come to my wedding soon, then my wedding's going to be a complete mess, so please, come here.
No frickin' thank you.
Why though?
I have things of my own that I'm busy with. I already cut ties with you a long frickin' time ago, and I don't have the time to come out and see someone that I don't care to know about. Now, have fun at your crappy wedding. It'd be great if any of those friends you invited actually show up today. But that's if you even have any friends left to call your friends. After that, none of those so-called friends that Tracy thought she had ended up showing to her wedding, and that started to make her husband question things about her, and he called the wedding off. Tracy had originally planned to use her wedding as another way to pick on Dawn and make herself feel as though she was on top. But after everything that Dawn brought up turned out to be true, there was nobody around for Tracy to show off to. After Tracy had tried so hard to make this another chance for her to make Dawn feel bad, it turned out that this whole wedding was making Tracy feel terrible. Tracy tried in one last move to save her wedding to call those she invited, but soon learned that most of them had either blocked her or hated her enough to pick up the phone and tear into her. It seems that most of these people had moved out of town as well, so all those invitations Tracy relied so much on never even made it to her supposed guests. Soon after, Tracy's husband, although newlywed, found out about this part of Tracy's past and immediately took a 180 and asked for a divorce. Had Tracy just thought about things a bit more, she might have been able to avoid all this by only inviting those that actually see her as their friends still, if those people are even out there anymore.
Hello, Meredith dear. How are you doing?
Wait, who is this?
It's me, Stella.
Wait, Stella? As in Stella Townsend?
That's right. Did you forget that we exchanged contact information not too long ago?
Did we really?
You told me what social media you use over the lunch break, and you even showed me your QR code so we could follow each other.
Things are coming back to me now. I'm sorry, Miss Townsend. Is something the matter?
Not a day goes by without me thinking how much of a kind person you are, Meredith dear. It's truly admiring.
Oh, is it really? Why, thank you, Miss Townsend. You just made my day.
You teach me. Quite the older woman already, that works so compassionately and considerately, and you're so friendly to me. I just felt like I should thank you. You're really helping me out with everything, dear, and I really appreciate it.
Am I really? I'm so glad to hear that. But rest assured, it's my job to teach temporary staff how we do our work, and I'm only doing what I do every day, Miss Townsend. But thank you for the kind sentiment.
Are we together during our shift tomorrow?
Oh, no, Miss Townsend. We're full-time employees, so we don't work during our shifts, you see. But if you mean, would we see each other at work tomorrow during the day, I suppose we will.
Oh, this is unfortunate. I have my work during the evening. Such a shame. I was so looking forward to speaking to you tomorrow. Too bad. Stella Townsend's sad.
I'm sure we'll have plenty of opportunities, Miss Townsend.
I hope our lunch breaks coincide at least.
So do I. It depends on how busy we are during the day, and they can't let everyone off at once. It all comes down to timing, I suppose.
Oh, and I have something important to discuss with you too.
Oh? Is something the matter? Did you want a specific time for a shift?
No, not at all. This is about something far more important than that load of nonsense.
What? What's the matter, Miss Townsend? Are you all right?
That's exactly it. I might not be all right. That's why I wanted to speak to you tomorrow at work.
Is that so? I mean, if you're okay with it, we can talk about it here in DMs right now.
You have an older brother, don't you, dear?
What? I mean, I do have an older brother, but where did you find out about that?
Some other part-timer mentioned it, you see. I see your family lives quite the decent living, I have to say.
Oh, that's not true at all, Miss Townsend. We're only an ordinary family living ordinary lives, and even I moved out of my parents' home after I married my husband.
But I hear your brother is a medical practitioner. Is that true?
Wow, you really did your research, didn't you? You only joined last month, but you seem to have more information than most other employees already.
I make it my business to quickly accumulate lots of information that matters.
Is that so?
And? Is it true that your brother's a medical practitioner?
Yes, it is. More specifically, he started his practice only last month, so he still has a way to go to grow and flourish. My family's apparently going all out to help him, so much so that they'll even be busy during New Year's.
I see. How old is he?
Well, let's see. He's 5 years older than me, so that would make him 37 years old.
Is he really? Such an amazing feat at so young an age.
He took his time, and he prepared well for what he's become now, and he's very kind and respectable brother to have, Miss Townsend.
Oh, how nice. You must be so proud of him, Meredith, dear.
I am. I truly am.
I also hear he isn't married yet. Is this also true?
No, he isn't yet.
I do think that he and I could make it work, considering we aren't so far apart in age. What do you think?
Excuse me?
I'd like to get to know him, you see. Think we can get some proper introductions?
Introductions to do what, Miss Townsend?
Why, introductions to each other, Meredith, dear. Like I said, I'd like to get to know him. When would be a good time for him? I'm basically free every day, so I'll just make my schedule according to what your brother prefers.
I'm sorry, I must say I'm having trouble understanding this. Could you please slow down and start at the beginning?
I do think that the stress of being a busy medical practitioner can take a toll on someone.
I suppose so. But how does that have anything to do with you, Miss Townsend?
I think I'm just the right woman to help people feel relaxed and healed. Wouldn't you agree?
Huh?
In terms of looks, in personality, I've been told by multiple people that I'm a bit of a goofball. I believe that for a serious intellectual, like a doctor in practice, a woman like me, a little bit silly but also very caring and attractive, is what's best for a partner.
I'm sorry, Miss Townsend, but I must refrain from talking about personal matters.
What do you mean? This will only be between us, Meredith, dear. You can at least introduce us now, can't you? Or would you rather not because you're having a brotherly complex?
Excuse me?
You know, like you don't want anyone to steal your brother away from you. That is what you have, isn't it? Oh, you're so cute, Miss Meredith. Oh.
It's not that I have that, not at all. It's just that a brother's a brother, you see. And it really hasn't been very long since I first met you, Miss Townsend. and I can't do a responsible thing like introducing you to my brother without knowing much about you. You understand.
My. You're a stubborn lass. You sure have some old-fashioned thinking inside that young head of yours. It's worth noting that people really can't determine my real age because they tell me I look so young. Even for my clothes, I do research, and I sift through lots of magazines for younger people nowadays. And I must say, it's worked wonders.
I do admit you have the most exquisite sense of casual fashion.
I know, right? I say I'm the perfect woman for your brother, so I ask again. Could you please introduce me to him?
Sadly, I must inform you that it's been decided that he will marry someone through matchmaking.
What? What's with the old school here? I must say that true love will never result from a matchmaking marriage. You of all people must know that, right?
He's been pretty busy for such a long time, enough so that he never really had the proper time to meet anyone. We believe matchmaking will help him well in his situation.
And how old is this woman?
If I remember correctly, she's in her late 20s. I think she just came out of a medical graduate school with pretty good academic record.
And what would such a young woman know about anything? A woman acquires more and more taste the older she gets, you know.
Aren't you 42 in reality, Miss Townsend?
Just by looking at me, you'd assume I was 24, right? That's what lots of people tell me. I may look young on the outside, but on the inside, I am a fully grown woman with a lot of experience in life already. I really think that it's better for him if you introduce me to him instead of wasting him on matchmaking. I highly recommend myself.
But even so, they've already had a look at each other's personal statements and they seem to approve of each other. So I must say changing this last second will be difficult.
A personal statement? What's that?
It's like a self-introduction paper, often used in matchmaking.
But that's a resume. I'll bring my own tomorrow, so could you please give it to him? For your sake too, Meredith, dear. It's best if you start establishing good relations with your future sister now, isn't it?
I'm sorry? No, it's not a resume in the slightest. And forgive me for being so straightforward here, but I don't believe you'll ever become my sister.
Eh? Now that's what I call a rude outburst, right there. You're just scared that I'm going to rip your brother from you. Put yourself in his shoes. There is no way he's going to choose a woman whose only asset is that she's young.
I think he will, Miss Townsend. He was really into her when he read her personal statement. And also, not only is she indeed young, but she's also a colleague, fellow student from his days in medical school. She studied the same area in the same domain as he did, and he's quite interested in establishing a nice intellectual relationship, as well as a romantic one.
Is that so? But surely he's not going to go through with the marriage.
I think he will, honestly. I do think they're right for each other myself.
There is absolutely no way. If your brother chooses such a woman over someone like me, I have to say that is a real turn-off.
Excuse me? What do you mean by that?
She's 10 whole years younger than him, you know? No amount of study should keep a person from thinking rationally about this. Let's just take a moment here. She is far too young for him. He may not be very experienced with women, but it's worth telling him that there are so many more fish in the sea, right? Fish like me.
Could you, stop this right now?
Huh? What did I do? Oh, I see. You're just jealous of me, aren't you? You just can't stand the truth that you can never become the wife of a medical practitioner, one of the most respected and highest paying jobs there is, can you?
I'm starting to get a little tired. I think we should call it a day here, Townsend.
Huh?
I'm telling you to stop this nonsense right now. Could you not come into my social media to talk about personal matters? It's never my business to discuss such matters with mere colleagues at work. If you have anything more to discuss, please contact headquarters.
What's with that language? Told your future sister, no less.
You'll never be my sister, Townsend. You're annoying me. You do realize I'm your boss at the moment, right? I don't believe this is appropriate behavior, do you?
I do understand you're my boss, Meredith dear, but you are so much younger than me.
And what the hell is wrong with that? And the way you call me dear all the time? I've had it. I'm putting an end to this. You probably wanted to get my contact information because you wanted a way to get to my brother. But in my eyes, it will always be a big no from me. Should you ever for my blessing to even meet him, I'm not going to introduce you to him, Townsend.
But why?
First of all, I must advise you to stop dressing like a teenager when in fact you're 42 years old. If you're gonna buy a bunch of cheap young folk clothes, I suggest you get those white hairs of yours properly dyed at a nice salon. Wouldn't you agree?
How rude! I'm telling you that I am beautiful just the way I am.
I do think that depends on the person, Townsend. In any case, I must warn you that if you don't make some changes to your behavior in the workplace, you will face the consequences. You can start by using polite language towards your superiors. At this rate, I don't believe your contract with your displacement agency will be renewed or extended. And a non-married woman without a job in her 40s is not exactly anyone's vision of a nice life now, is it? Good luck to you, Townsend. Miss Townsend showed up at work the next day to complain about Meredith's attitude in DMs the day before. But Meredith dealt with her in cold strictness, and perhaps that made Townsend's blood boil because she started shouting loudly and caused a great calamity inside the call center. Her dispatch employee contract with the company was terminated right there and then. Miss Meredith, along with a few other superiors, filed a complaint to the agency who dispatched Townsend to their enterprise and asked for proper punishment. As a result, her resignation status with the agency was deleted. And lo and behold, she really did become a jobless woman without a husband. She'd registered in other dispatch agencies since then, but all of them were denied a renewal. Seems like her situation with work will only get more difficult as time goes by, unless she makes some changes.
All right, get to work, get to work. I'll be watching you with hawk eyes this whole time, okay? I am not in the mood to tell you that again, as your one job as the younger wife in this house is to get all the chores done, even while everyone else is here.
Get to work? But there's nothing left for me to do now. I've cleaned up all the dishes, and there isn't anything else to vacuum now. I've gone through all the house and wiped down all the tables, and have gone up to every window and sprayed them and cleaned them in order to let the most light through them. I went and swept the stairs for you, as well as cleaned the kitchen floor and took out all the trash.
Have you gotten around to doing the laundry and all of that?
I finished with the laundry a little while ago. You can even see that everything is all folded up and put into our rooms to be placed away later. And I made sure to change the sheets on the sofa as well. So at this point, there is really nothing left for me to clean or do for you. I can't even think of another thing I could work on that would make any sense at this point.
Are you sure that's how you want to end things? All of the family will be coming here really soon, and you have to make a name for yourself by making this place look spectacularly clean. If there's one thing that they spot and comment on, I'm going to make sure you take responsibility for it. Will you be able to do that? It'll be a lot of pressure, and a lot of these people are much more strict than even I am.
Then can you go around and do a quick look over for me to see if there's anything I missed? That way we can both be on the same page about the cleanliness here and I won't have to be too worried anymore.
Huh? Does that mean you're not going to be able to take responsibility for yourself? That's what it sounds like to me. Do you not have the confidence where you need me to come around and check everything for you? That is not my job to be doing. You should be more than capable of cleaning and doing chores in this house without having someone like me come around and spot check all your work.
All right. But this is how things always go with you, Jennifer. I ask you to check things for me first so that we can avoid conflicts later, but instead you don't bother to help by doing that so at some point you can complain about me. It's not that I'm saying you want me to mess up on purpose, but it sure does seem like that way sometimes.
Then, if you don't want me to complain about you anymore, do a better job at cleaning what I've asked you to clean. If you can do that for me, then you might actually end up being a good wife for my son.
Are you serious?
I'll have you know that I've been to over 100 different kinds of high-end hotels, and have always made comments about the cleanliness of them. So, if you can get me to not say a single word about your cleaning, then that means you are doing better than over 100 different hotels are. That should make you happy, right?
What? Over 100 different hotels. Complaining that much about all of their cleanliness just makes you look more like a stuck-up snob than anything else.
You're a real pain in my butt. I think I'm going to have to raise you again, since your parents seem to have failed at that. Unlike women nowadays, back when I was first becoming my husband's wife, my mother-in-law pushed me so hard to make sure that I'd be perfect at everything. And now, having to see this new generation of wives has left me shocked. I can't believe that all of you just want to sit around all day doing everything so sloppily around the home.
We aren't trying to sit around all day doing nothing, though. At least I'm not trying to.
I know you all are. I've seen it with my own eyes time and time again. Especially you, Morgan. So I'm going to break you down and rebuild you from the ground up, all right? So be ready. It will not be easy, and I'm going to be honest and say that you will cry even more now with me working on you than when you were a baby.
But listen, what's with you putting up that camera in the living room to watch over me all the time? That right there shows me that you're taking this way too far. You're trying to make it really hard for me to have any time to take a break and relax.
You have no right to be allowed a break time in this house. When you are here, you have to work every second of the day, making sure the place is spotless and smells like nothing besides detergent. You will not stop working. I'll make sure of it, you useless woman.
Useless woman.
Morgan, are you doing all right? I just realized that it looks like you've been working all day to clean. How about you take a moment to sit down and relax a little?
Ah, Selena. Thank you so much for asking about how I'm doing. But unfortunately for me, I'm not able to take any time off for a break. I was told that I'm a useless woman. And so if I stop doing the chores here, I'll be done for.
What are you talking about right now?
Well, there's a lot that's gone into it, so... But just be aware that for the time being, I can't take any breaks, as it would not end well for me. I'm happy to see that you've noticed me working a lot, but I'm afraid it's going to have to stay this way today.
Does this mean that Jennifer said something to you that's made you act like that? I know that woman well, and this all seems like something she'd do.
It was something she told me. She told me this is to help retrain me and that this was for my own good so that I can remain a part of this family.
I see. That woman sure is a thing for making sure everyone is the perfect wife for their husband. She's way too old, though, for her to not be embarrassed by the way she acts. Well, listen, Morgan, you don't have to worry about a word that woman says to you, and you can take as many breaks as you'd like.
What? Are you sure about that? But...
You've already put in so much work getting all this cleaning done, so it'd be wrong of us to continue to make you work into the afternoon. I'd like you to take a seat with all of us and talk about yourself a little. After all, everyone's come here today to relax and chat.
All right. Thank you so much for checking up on me. It really helps me out a bunch.
By the way, have you brought any of what's been going on here up with Isaiah? Told him about how Jennifer is trying to work you way too hard? I'm sure he'd have something to say to his own mother, knowing what things she's done to you already.
Not yet. There hasn't been anything yet between her and I that would make me go to him about it yet. Also, Isaiah is in the middle of a couple of projects for work, so he doesn't have time to focus on this. And I don't want to get him all worried about what's going on here with his mom when he needs to be there.
You say that, but I feel as though he seems really worried about you and what you've been up to under the influence of your mother-in-law. I'm sure he realizes that something is up with you. So I really believe that you should bring this all up with him for once.
Of course. You are correct about what my Jennifer has been doing to me today, and that she has gone a little overboard with it. I will plan on bringing things up with him, or at least doing something that will really get his attention then.
Oh, is that right? I guess I didn't think you'd be willing to try and get his attention after saying you didn't want to disturb him. Well, that makes me feel a little better. I think that you'll be able to do all right then.
I think so too. So please, don't worry too much about me, and trust that I'll be able to handle all of this in one way or another. Go ahead and get back to chatting with everyone else now.
Thank you. I think I will then, but I'll make sure to watch and see how things go for you. You? Where the hell have you gone? Hurry up right now and get back here and get more work done. Plates are beginning to pile up in the sink.
I'm sorry, but I'm at the hospital right now.
Huh? The hospital? You're not some kind of nurse, right? You're a housewife that needs to stay in the home. Why did you think it was important of you to go to this hospital at a time like this?
Even if I'm not a nurse or anything like that, when I'm not doing well, I have the right to go to a hospital, correct? So, let me explain what's happened. I happened to bleed a ton when you hit me in the head with that dinner tray and have to go to the hospital to get myself checked out. Are you happy to have your explanation now?
Huh? Why would there ever be any blood coming out of your head? I barely even hit you.
Are you kidding? Take a look at the gosh dang sofa that I was sitting on, please. There's blood all over it still, right?
And that's evidence of why it's not okay for you to be sitting on any sofa at all, right? You are a housewife and have work left to do, so there's no way I was going to allow you to slack off.
What is so bad about me taking a second to sit on the sofa? And it's not even like I was sitting down in the same room as all the rest of the people, right?
A wife like you has no right to even a millisecond of sitting time. I already told you all of this before, right? Another thing, why were you showing all of the guests today to that other room in the house? It's because of you showing them to the room all the way on the other side of the house that they've made my job harder by being so far away from the kitchen.
I just assumed since that other room had a much more relaxed vibe to it, it'd be easier on everyone and they wouldn't have to continue sitting on that old couch in the living room.
Well, you made work on yourself only grow even more by doing something like that, right? I've had enough of this, so get your butt back to the house. I need you back here working right now.
Why are you being so strict with your son's wife like this?
I'm doing all of this for your sake, that's why. Back when I was your age, I had the same thing happen between myself and my mother-in-law, who worked me very hard.
Are you talking about Selena?
That's right. I was given the most strict upbringing by her that any wife has ever had on this planet. And that's why I'm going to make you work as hard as I was forced to.
So this is what all that hard work was about? It's because of your own past that you decided to hit me outside the head with a dinner tray and make me bleed?
Shut up. This all has to do with you always being a frickin' brat talking back to me like you have any say. You are worse than any other housewife I've known. Why did my sweet little boy have to end up marrying such a useless woman like you? Now get your butt back to this house. I'm going to make you work as all wives are supposed to.
I told you it's not going to happen now. I'm in the hospital at the moment to get my head taken care of. Also, why would I ever want to go back to some place where the person who assaulted me is at?
You think that I assaulted you just then? Stop being so overdramatic. I had to make sure to reset your brain after you thought it was a good idea to take a break while you were cleaning and catering to my friends and family. What the hell do you think you're doing going to a hospital after getting hit in the head with a simple tray? Well, now it's your turn, right? Huh? Hello, Jennifer. I had a good look at the moment you took that tray and swung it into Morgan's head a little bit ago. Oh, did you? But that's just the way I chose to handle things. I'm not going to listen to anything more from her about being such a victim to my way of treating her. So just understand that, please. All right, then. Well, I wasn't going to say anything about it anyway. Now, the next time we're all coming over will be in 2 weeks, right? I'll see you all again then. Wait, what are you doing? Why do you think you have to punch me now? You want to know why? Because you decided to sit down with the rest of us when you were the wife of this house. I'm the wife, but from my point of view, you are a younger wife than me in this house, therefore you don't get to have any time to take any breaks. You have to work all the time to clean the place up and serve everyone, right? And so far you've only shown that you're a useless woman. So tell me why you thought it was a good idea to sit on the sofa like that? Oh, wait, that's because... Are you going to try and tell me that punching you would be taking things too far? That's pretty bold of you to say when just a couple of weeks ago you sent your daughter-in-law to the hospital after hitting her in the head with a dinner tray. Well, I didn't do that in front of everyone. I made sure to do that in a place where none of you guys could see it happen. And that's because you knew if you did something as ridiculous as that in front of everyone else, they'd have some awful things to say about you, right? Well, that's right? After all, you did hit her in the head with a darn dinner tray. And you know that no matter what reason you may have had for that, the rest of us would not forgive you for it, right? You have no right to be saying things like this about me. And here we go again with that horrible attitude of yours. You really have me thinking once again about your actions. It's like you're back to that same old toxic woman from back in the day. Shut up! You were the one that treated me like crap when you started to train me to be a good wife. You wanted to make sure that a young wife like me back then would be perfect, and that's why you treated me so poorly at the house. I'm not going to let you say you forgot about all of that. So you are trying to say that the reason you're treating Morgan so poorly is because that's the way you were treated by your mother-in-law back in the day? That's exactly right. That's a fact. Well, I don't ever remember treating in any way what was unfair or justified back then. I only happened to tell you that you were making mistakes and that you were wrong from a mother's perspective. Nope, you absolutely did not do that. You tried to abuse me back then in order to do everything you'd ask of me. It's probably because of all that stress you had that you'd pick fights with me and bully me. Well, you would go out and spend the family credit card on things that were only meant for yourself and without anyone's permission. And you'd use your husband's company's money to take yourself to all kinds of high-end hotels for weeks, right? You were one of the worst wives ever back then. This has nothing to do with what's going on right now. I think it has every bit of a connection to what's been going on here. You happened to go against everything the family asked you to stop doing back then. What you were doing was laced with problems, and it had to stop. That's the reason for everything that happened after, right? Have you still not come around to accepting that yet? Ugh! You're so annoying! I was still young back then, so stop trying to put all the blame on me for what happened back then. And Morgan is the same age now, just about, that you were back when that was all going on, right? I can't do this anymore. I told you to shut up because you're being so annoying right now. An old witch like you needs to shut the hell up already. Ugh. Jesus Christ. You've fallen right back to where you started. You! Don't think that you can get away with things now just because you've become friends with that old witch. I promise you I'll destroy that old witch if that's what you really want to see, and then I'll have you trapped with nowhere left to run.
Destroy her.
I mean exactly what I said there. Did you know that she hit me in the head with a tray as well now? And she did that in front of all the family and friends that were gathered here. So I will take her to court and sue her butt.
What? But, Jennifer, you did the exact same thing to me a little while back, right? Do you think it's okay that you're the only one allowed to do things like that?
I was doing it as a way to get you to stop messing around, but that old witch only did it as a way of picking on me in front of everyone.
Your way of getting me to stop? I'm sorry, but that's not the way I saw it when you hit me so hard you lacerated my head! So, if you really are going to be suing Selena over this, then I'm going to sue you for hitting me in the head!
Excuse me, what the hell are you talking about?
Hold on, you've been talking about this the whole time, right?
Well, listen, miss. Do you even have evidence of me hitting you in the head with any dinner tray?
Are you kidding me?
I never hit you in the head with anything, not even a dinner tray. Selena may be saying that she saw something like that happen, but in her old age, I'm sure her eyes are not 20/20, right?
I can't believe this. It's like you're not even human anymore, that's how screwed up your head is. Not only are you just an awful mother-in-law, but at this point, I think you're better off being locked up in some asylum for the way you're behaving.
Ah, are you trying to make fun of me now? I'll take you to court as well over something like that.
I'm sure you may have forgotten this, but the room you hit me in the head with that dinner tray in happens to be the same room you installed that camera in to watch me. So, that night when I came back to the house, I went and saved all the recordings on that camera to my phone. And so, the evidence of you hitting me really hard over the head with that dinner tray, and all the blood that came out of me after, is saved on my phone.
So that's why you had all those people at the time moved over into the other room to relax for a bit.
That's right. I was thinking it'd be the best place to do it since you probably wanted to keep all your actions a secret from everyone else. However, I never thought you'd end up assaulting me in any way when I chose to take a small break on the sofa.
Then what about the place that Selena ended up hitting me in the head at?
You had that happen to you back in that other room, where there is no camera installed at. Jennifer, you keep talking about how someone like Selena hit you in the head the same way as you hit me, but are you sure something like that really took place?
You'd better stop messing around. Well, it's all going to be okay. There may be no video evidence, but there were a ton of other bystanders in the room at the time that witnessed what happened to me. I'll ask them all to come and help me, and then I'll have the two of you ruined for the rest of your lives.
And I hope that all goes well for you.
Hey, you! What the hell have you said to Isaiah about this? Also, when it comes to my husband, did you say something to him as well?
What do you think I said to them?
I am not here to play games with your stupid butt anymore. I was told by my son just a little bit ago that he wants to cut ties to me forever.
Well, that just happens to be because someone like him does not like the fact that you treated his wife horribly and even hit her in the head with a tray, sending her into the hospital, right? You can relax now because I didn't do or say anything to him that would make him want this.
Stop it with all your bullcrap. Then tell me about my husband then. My husband is asking to get a divorce from me now after what you've done.
And I'd like to think that it's for the same reason as Isaiah had. I believe that your husband was on his last leg with you, and what you did to me was the last straw and made him want to jump ship. Jennifer, I understand that you were going to look for people to back you up over this, but it seems everyone just wants to cut ties with you. Well, that's only natural of all of them. You've been a total jackass this entire time.
What? No matter what you say, this is all your fault. I was just trying to fix you because you are a terrible wife and woman, yet now everyone is trying to leave me. Why me? The only terrible wife in this family is you, Jennifer. You? What do you want from me, you old witch? Look at that. The moment people start to do and say things you don't like, you begin to call them bad names like old witch. You are the one that did many things wrong and are being punished for them, but are too self-centered to even take a moment to reflect on that. I can't believe it, though. You haven't changed one bit from the monster you were in the past. I am speechless. You are always trying to act like you're better than everyone else. Do you think you're the perfect woman? Sure, I'm not perfect, but I sure am better than you. I happen to not be the one with fingers pointed at her for picking on and assaulting her daughter-in-law. Shut up! You have heard about how my son will be divorcing you now, right? In other words, that means you and I will never have to talk to one another ever again. Thank you for what little you offered. Goodbye forever now. What is this? You came all the way out to contacting me just to say something as BS as that? If anything, you're the one with far worse heart than me. Right. After all, I was so bad that you would start calling me an old witch again. Well, I hate being called something like that, and that's why I'm really pissed off with you now. And that is the reason why I will not make things easy for you, and I will make sure that when this is all said and done, you will no longer be able to touch my family ever again. And will go rot in hell with the rest of this world's evil. Ugh! I've had enough with you all messing around with me. So with that, goodbye forever.
Jennifer, can you please stop walking all over outside my house like that? We have all cut ties to you already, so you need to give up and go away.
Why, Morgan? That house is the place I'd been living in for the past 30 years. I'm asking you to please forgive me. Please just let me back into your lives.
This was not the choice I ended up making, Jennifer. You were the one that lost your husband after he divorced you, and so there's nothing I can do to help get things back to the way they were. Just go back to your parents' house or something to live the rest of your life.
I don't want to, though. I want to be back living in that house with you. I will apologize for everything I did to you, so please forgive me. I'm asking you to please help me.
It's not going to happen now. And there's nothing I can do to help you after all the trouble you started. Now, if you are going to continue standing outside our house all day causing us trouble, I'm going to have to call the police and have them take you away.
No! Please don't call the police on me now. I won't do anything to you guys, all right? Okay? I'll go away soon.
Wait, Jennifer? Have you done something bad that might get the police to take interest in you?
No, I haven't done anything wrong. I just don't want to deal with the police right now. They scare me, that's why.
Well, I understand there being people that get nervous when they see the police. It's just a natural thing, but... Jennifer, if you've done something wrong that they might be after you for, you should just turn yourself in and confess to it.
I told you I haven't done anything wrong, though, so you don't have to worry about me. So, with that being said, let me ask you this. Do you think you'll ever be able to forgive me?
Asking me to forgive you? Well, based on what the rest of the family is saying about you, I'd rather not have anything to do with you anymore. So please just understand that and go!
But what if I do seriously change my ways this time and make sure to treat you very well?
The problem is, no matter how many times you try and change yourself to get us to take you back, you'll just start being a complete witch again. After all, you complained to over 100 different high-end hotels about their service and cleanliness. So I'm sure you'll never stop complaining, right? After that, I went ahead and blocked my mother-in-law's phone number, and since then I haven't heard a thing from her. However, she continued to come by our house quite often to take a look at us and what we were up to. So I had the police called on her, and since then I've never had to see her around our house anymore. I am a little bit worried that she has been up to something no good, and that's why she was so nervous about having the police called on her. But as I was watching the news, wondering about what happened to her, a story came on about how she had been arrested by them. And the reason she was arrested was for purse snatching. She seemed to have been taking all kinds of things out of people's purses and would sell them to pawn shops for quick money. That wasn't all, though. She had also had an expired driver's license while driving her car around town, which only added to her problems. I really have no idea why things ended up this badly for her and why she chose to do things that were illegal in the end. But it made me laugh seeing her be arrested for that. After being arrested and taken to court, she was forced to pay a huge settlement to all the victims of her purse-snatching antics, as well as a fine for driving with an expired license. At that point, it seemed that Jennifer had truly been defeated as she had lost all her money. And so she left town and went back to her hometown looking for help. As of right now, she's at her older sister's house living with her and her husband, and hasn't done anything to get herself into any more trouble since. I really hope that something like that means she is finally settling down and will finally change her ways of being a witch into someone people can actually love. However, only a month after moving in with her sister, things only got worse as she began to start selling things of her sister's at the pawn shop. And when her sister caught on, her sister's husband went and forced Jennifer out of the house. Jennifer had tried to plead for them to let her back in, because at the time she was forced out in only her bathrobe. But they knew better than to do that and called the police on her once again. This time, however, when she was taken into custody, they didn't go as easy on her when she had to go to court, and was sentenced to 6 months in jail for theft, which caused her to bawl her eyes out. I guess she really didn't even learn after one time dealing with the law. So hopefully a second time and time spent in a jail cell will put her right. Because if not, she might just end up having to live there for the rest of her life. If not kill her for messing with the wrong people next time. As for my family and I, ever since Jennifer was kicked out of this house, things have become a lot more peaceful for me. And right now, I'm living in a much more relaxed life as a housewife with my husband and my father-in-law. And when it comes to Selena, I'm forever grateful that she helped me fight Jennifer when I had had enough of her. I like to still have her over with the rest of the family and friends quite often still, as a way of thanking her. However, these times, I don't force myself to work a ton, and instead have a seat with all of them every once in a while to talk and relax.
Are you and your mom going to be getting out of here anytime soon? Why are you both still in this fancy house of mine? I'd like you both out of this house now. You both are disgraces. The thing is, Carmen, I don't think you have any reason to be telling my mom or anyone anything like that. I really don't get how you think you can say that to me when you're both the ones in some stranger's house. This is my house, and yet I'm not able to catch a break with the both of you around. I'm sorry about that, but this place also happens to be my mom's and my house now. Your dad and my mom ended up getting married to one another. So when you think about the fact that we're all family now, you're making a big mistake complaining about us like that. I'm not complaining about you both, though. I am warning you guys. I'm warning you both that it's time to get out of my house now, so how about you start preparing to leave? What do you think you're saying still? If you keep complaining to me like that, I'm not going to bother listening to you. I'm telling you right now, Carmen, you can hate my mom and I all you want, but it's not going to change anything for you now. We are your family now as far as everyone else is concerned. So this way you're behaving, don't you think it's going to draw a lot of people's attention towards you? Let's just forget about all you've said and work together to grow closer to one another as sisters. Huh? Give it up already. You're grossing me out now. I will never, ever think of you as my little sister, Jasmine. I can't even see you as anything else but a crazy stranger who's trying to squat in my house. You also happen to be years younger than me, yet talk to me like you somehow know better? Disgusting. I'm sorry that my way of thinking about this is disgusting to you, but I'm not trying to turn you off. I can just see that you being very against my mom and I living here is only going to make things harder on yourself. So I'd really like it if we all worked together to be happier as a family. And in order for that to start happening, you need to start behaving like an adult, okay? Jasmine, how have things been going between you and Carmen? Do you feel that the both of you can get along well? Not at all, Mom. Not only is it hard for me to understand what she's going on about, but she doesn't seem to like the thought of me at all. By now, I don't think her and I can become close to one another at all. But don't worry, I'll figure something out. You know I'm worried after hearing that, though. If I weren't around anymore, then what would happen to you guys? There are all kinds of things I'm worried about right now, and one thing is being worried about you two. What? Why are you worried about things like that, though? There's no way someone like you won't be around. It'll be a very long time before you're no longer around, so I'd stop your worrying and just focus on your new husband and family. Jasmine, remember that there's no telling what'll happen in the near future. If we keep living life not being prepared for the worst, then it's going to swallow us right up and leave nothing behind. Well, I'm sure one could see things that way. But right now, you shouldn't be all that worried about things. I'll be all right with what's going on right now. I'm sure you will be too. Well, if that's what you think, then okay. How about we focus on talking about the company now? Did you get to talk with Luke? Yes, I was able to. Luke may be super young, but he is a very good listener and makes sure to account for everything when making his next moves. We were both able to get on with our talks about what'll happen next. And in the end, we were both able to come to an understanding. You will be totally fine going to school and staying there for a while. All right. I'll make sure to learn everything I can in college, and I'll do everything I can to become very useful to the company once I've graduated. But also make sure you have a little bit of fun while you're there. I know you're a very serious young woman, but learn to relax a little as well. All right already. Sorry that me being serious is always worrying you. Thanks for the update, Mom. It sounds like your mom got into a bad accident, huh? Dang. I guess that was the fate she had destined for her, huh? My mom has stopped breathing now. What? Are you kidding me? Huh? Why the hell are you laughing right now? How the hell can you laugh about what's happened to my mom? My mom just frickin' died. Do you have any idea what you're joking about right now? I never actually thought something like that would happen. I was a bit shocked just then to hear you say that. Well then, this means really soon here you will have to leave the house, right? Things are happening just the way I wanted them to. Perhaps one could say that I'm good at telling the future. What the hell are you going on about? I do not have it in myself right now to sit here and watch you send out such gut-wrenching crap as that anymore. Aren't you 24 years old or something? How have you made it this far in life, yet still not learned how to talk and act around someone that just lost their own mother? Do you find joy in making other people's anguish even worse for them, to the point that they can feel their heart falling apart inside their chest? Not really. I'm not really thinking too much about your mom anyway. You both are just strangers to me anyway, so why should I care how you feel now? Even if I am, you should still be aware not to say things like that to a stranger while they're going through some of the most heartbreaking moments in their life. I can't wait to finally have this stranger out of my house, and then I can go back to living with just my older brother Luke and my dad again. You really are the worst. I'm done talking to trash like you. From now on, consider your chances of talking with me very slim. Now leave me alone and go find someone else to mess with. Will do. And you hurry up and get all your things ready to be out of my house. I want you to vanish right before my eyes. Shut the hell up. I told you things need to happen as I say. Now hurry up and leave. I am shocked. No, not even shocked. I am dumbstruck by what you've done. How dare you come into my mom's funeral today and yell at me about being a complete stranger to you and that I need to leave now? There has to be a limit to your absurdity, right? Do you have any clue what you've just done to Dad by screaming like that? Huh? Please don't be calling my dad your dad after everything that's just happened. You have no idea who my dad is, so why don't you just get lost already? He's like a foster parent to me, making him my dad. I understand that you don't like me being in your dad's large house right now, but what you just screamed about at the top of your lungs at my mom's funeral, that was unacceptable. You've just gone and made Dad beyond embarrassed by what you did. Although I'm sure you can't tell that because you're so self-centered. Anything is worth doing what I did as long as you are out of my house. Ever since you came into my house, my older brother has been all over you, even though all you are is that bratty child your mom brought with her. Why does everyone want to care about you so much? Because they can see just how much of a jerk you are towards me. They're all worried about what'll come next from you, and that's why they care. Shut up. I don't care anymore. Now, get the hell out of my life already. Having to waste any more of my time around you is really starting to get on my nerves now. I feel the exact same way, Carmen. You have no right to be living in my dad's mansion anymore. My house. Really? You still continue to think that? How confident of you. Of course. I'm the daughter of this household, and I know everything about it. That also means that this house is mine for the taking. And since your old hag of a mother is 6 feet under now, it's time for you to get the hell out. A non-related stranger like you has no right to be in this house any longer. Get out.
Then I guess we're all going to have to leave.
What?
I've been thinking for a long time now that it's been close to that time when you need to start supporting yourself for once. So it's time for both you and Luke to get out of here and live on your own. And I'll have to leave myself, so that'll be all 3 of us moving out. Have you gotten all your things ready to leave yet, Carmen?
What are you talking about? Stop trying to talk like my dad now. And since when did Luke have anything to do with this?
I just so happen to be your father, Christopher.
What? Dad? Why are you texting me from Jasmine's phone?
You call me your dad, when really, I'm just your foster parent.
Dad? Foster parent? What are you going on about? What's going on here?
The only reason I've never brought this up with you is because you act like such a child for an adult. But this time, you really took things too far with all you've said to my little Jasmine. That's why I'm going to choose this timing, to tell you the whole truth about who you really are. The truth is, neither you nor Luke are related to me by blood. And actually, I'm not sure who your real parents are.
What? What does that mean?
It means exactly what I said. I know that I told you in the past that your mother had died before you could truly know her. But in reality, I never knew your real mother either. I just went to the foster home, where I found you and Luke.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Dad. Are you sure that's the truth?
That's right. So if we're going to act on what you've been saying to Jasmine, that would mean that all of you have to get out of this house, because none of you are related to me.
Wait, stop saying all that crazy crap. If you have all of us leave this house, then what am I going to do? What's going to happen to me then?
I don't know. You're going to have to learn to fend for yourself. You were saying that those who are not blood relatives to the family have to leave this house. So that includes you. And I no longer need to think about you as my daughter.
Wait, Dad? I never said any of those with that kind of intent. You understand what I'm saying, right? I think you just got the wrong idea for a second there. Dad seems to be on the move now with his plan. Now, have you learned the repercussions of what all you were saying earlier? I'm sure you could never learn such things since you're such a frickin' idiot. But I just thought I'd ask since you're wanting to act like a little jerk. Now, could you stop screwing around? I meant everything I was saying to you, and I want you to stop screwing around with me now. What the hell were you doing, forcing my dad to say such things about my brother and I to me? I never thought that I'd have to hear words like that coming out of my own dad's mouth at a time like this. Was he being serious about all of that? Am I really a filthy foster child or something? And does that mean that Luke and I aren't even related to one another? That's what it seems like, Carmen. Therefore, you and I are one and the same now, right? Our dad's been in serious pain after just losing his wife like that in a serious car accident. And you just came out of nowhere today screaming the most heartless things to me at the top of your lungs. I don't think he's ever going to forgive you for doing that. What? But up until now, I've been my dad's #1 daughter, and he's done so much for me. How the hell could something like that happen so suddenly? It feels like I'm being stabbed in the back by him now. It's all because of you that my family is falling apart now. The one who started to cause this family to fall apart was you, Carmen. This is what happens when you don't work together with the rest of your family to try and make things enjoyable. Since you've decided to be so selfish, you've gone and ruined things for everyone now. As Dad is saying, he's selling the house. What? Why would he do that? He had a lot of memories in that house with my mom, and now that she's gone, he no longer wants to live in there with someone like you. There's no point in being around someone as horrible as you. No! There are plenty of points as to why he should still want to live here with me. I need to live here with him. If he sells the house and has me forced out of it, I'll become homeless and have no idea what to do. And like you, I don't even have a job or anything right now. And like you, don't you dare start comparing yourself to me. I'm going to college now, and I plan to be there until I can graduate and take over my mom's company. And I'll have you know that since I first started high school, I've been working at my mom's company as an intern to learn about the real world and make some extra money. Huh? Are you serious? You've known that my mom has been the CEO of her company, right? I've heard little bits about all of that. Well, like I said, that company is going to become mine. So right now, I've been putting in a lot of effort studying for such a high position. I wanted to work for her for a bit at the top, but now that she's gone, I'll have to do everything myself now. But luckily, before I get to that point, Luke is going to be stepping in to support the company and me. Which means while I'm still in school, I'll also be taking time to work with him to make sure I can learn literally everything in order to keep the company going when I take over. Huh? Why would my brother be getting involved in any of that? Are you after Luke now or something? That's why you never got out of this house. Why would I ever be after him? Come on now. To me, Luke is like a hero of mine. He's a very well put together man and is completely different from everyone else his age. So different, in fact, that he's like an alien to you. What the hell? Are you trying to pick on me now? Well, as a matter of fact, that is me picking on you. But I shouldn't waste my time doing that now. I have to really focus on what all I need to work on and study next while Luke is going in and making sure the company stays upright. He's going to be leaving his job soon as well and becoming an employee for my mom's company in order to be there full-time and put all his energy into it. My mom and him had plans for if something like this were ever to happen, and luckily they had agreed on everything that needed to be done. So that company is going to be just fine for now. I never had any idea that stuff like that had been going on. I didn't even know that Luke, of all people, was that invested into your guys' relationship and everything. That's because all you've done with your life is sit around the house all day, wasting all of Dad's hard-earned money on games and online shopping. All you've ever done is what you've wanted to do, and not a single thing else. That's why you never knew anything was going on with us. That's why you couldn't even tell that you're not your dad's real child. So what? We've had the money to do whatever we wanted to with it, so what's wrong with me wanting to use it all up to do what I want? What I'm saying is you never did anything for the family. You never even did anything to benefit yourself, and that's what's about to bite you in the butt now. You're about to be kicked out of the house, and how exactly are you going to be able to live on your own? I'm really worried about that, but you're in the same boat as me now, right? I've been planning to leave the house for a while now since I'm going to college out of town, so I've already signed the lease on a small apartment for myself. So I'll be moving there soon and begin my studies. I'll also be getting some money from my mom, and Dad will be willing to stay in touch in case I ever need anything. Why is my dad going to help you out, even though he's choosing to throw me away? Something like that can't be happening, right? I've been his daughter for a lot longer than you have. This is not a problem relating to how long either of us has been his daughter. Nobody knew that my mom was going to be passing away that quickly in an accident of that caliber. But my mom had plans for things like this because she was always worried about what would happen after she was gone. She made sure to think about myself, about Luke, about Dad, and that's why we've all been thinking about her as well. But because you never did anything with yourself besides complain all the time about my mom and I, and would just spend all your dad's money, nobody's put any thought into what'll happen with you next. You poor, poor thing. Who are you calling a poor thing? Are you really calling me that right now? You're an idiot. Talking down to me like that of all people? This is how things have turned out for someone as hopeless as you. And I think this is the perfect ending for you. What am I supposed to do from now on? If I'm really abandoned by everyone, I'll be screwed. Say something to my dad. Tell him that it's not right for him to abandon someone like me. It's because of you that all of this is happening to me after all. So you have to do that for me in return, right? Screw you. Are you really 6 years older than me? Or did the foster home you're from just tell Dad the wrong age? I can't believe this. You have to be in elementary school still if you think you can blame some stranger for your problems and then ask them to save you after throwing a fit. I'm done talking to you. If you want his help so bad, then how about you go and tell him he's wrong for leaving you? Because I'm finished with all your BS. I have had it up to here taking care of such a baby like you. You don't have to say that. The three of us are leaving the house and will continue to talk to one another like family because we are family. But not one of us has room in our hearts for a spoiled baby like you anymore. And out of the three of us, I'm the most likely to kill you if I ever come across you again after what you said about my mom's death. Back then, things were a little bit different. You don't have to get all upset with me about what I was saying then. You and I are still sisters, right? Let's be friends again. Now? Are you serious? I had asked you many times before my mom passed to be friends, to the point I can't even count them anymore. I just wanted to be kind to one another, even if it wasn't how we truly felt on the inside. But every single time I asked, the only thing that came out of your mouth were insults, and then you telling my mom and I to leave. All of that when none of us besides my mom and I had been related to one another by blood. Back then, I had no idea about the truth regarding my family, so how was I supposed to care about what I was saying? I'm saying sorry now, aren't I? Let's be kind to one another now, all right? I don't want you in my life anymore. I'm going to block your number now. What? I guess things really are going to happen just the way you'd been hoping. We're all going to be leaving that house. But it's not just me this time, but all of you as well, right? I guess you're not that good at telling the future after all. Goodbye forever now. Good luck living on the streets, you frickin' bitch. And how about while you're out there, you learn what it's like to be an adult? And just like that, I had no more patience inside me for Carmen, and I blocked her number as well as all her social media accounts. Then my dad went and sold the house to one of his friends, and that forced Luke and Carmen to have to leave the house as well. Carmen ran crying to her dad, telling him not to throw her away, but the last thing he had to say is that a monster like her was not his daughter, which drove the point that he wasn't joking around deep into her rotten heart. After we had all moved out, we continued to still talk to one another and help each other out like family, only this time without the annoying whining of that bratty girl Carmen. I was able to safely move into my new apartment with one of my friends, actually, where we'll be sharing this place while studying for 4 years at college. Luke was able to find himself a house closer to the company my mom was in charge of before her passing, and has now started his new job there as the COO while the company makes plans for me to become the next CEO. Thankfully, Luke has told me that he won't be making any major changes to the company while he's in charge, and that he will always talk with me first to get my opinion on things if he does have to do something. And as for my dad, he was able to find a new place in town, much smaller than the house he sold off, but just right for a single man like himself to enjoy. His heart really was destroyed by not only losing his wife, but also having to hear all those words out of someone he assumed was his daughter's mouth. As a way of thanking him for everything he'd done and to keep him from becoming lonely, Luke and I went out and got him a puppy that he can now take care of. And then we have Carmen. I haven't heard much else about her after we left that house, but what Luke has told me is that he got one call from her, and she was calling him from a payphone since her phone had broken and she had no money for a new one. There she was, crying and begging for him to help her out with some money because she was tired of having to sleep under a bridge every night, but Luke said not a single word and chose to hang up on her. She was the one that decided to never grow up any while living in such a fortunate household, so this was the only path she had laid out ahead of her, and she'll have to walk it forever now. I don't need some fake father like you coming to my wedding. So can you go ahead and stay home? Well, that's only if you were planning on coming in the first place.
What are you talking about, Ray? What do you mean by me being a fake father?
I'm talking about you not being my real father. Have you really started to think that you're actually my real father of all things? I have never thought of you as my father, and I never ever will.
But I have been raising you like a father for the past 20 years now. So I assume that made me pretty close to the real deal for you. Why are you speaking about how I'm not your father now of all times? I know that for the past few months, things between you and I have been a little cold. But I just assumed that was due to you being busy with your wedding preparations. Did something happen to you that made you stop thinking of me as your father?
I just came around to realizing that you aren't my real father after all, and that it's dumb of me to continue having you around me like you are my father. Nobody wants someone who's fake to them to be around them for the rest of their life, right?
Why do you keep calling me a fake like that, though? I understand that you're not related to me by blood or anything, but I have been married to your mother for 20 years now, and have made sure to spend a lot of time raising you as my own. And your wedding coming up has gotten me very excited for you, and I wanted to be there to celebrate it. But now you're telling me that you don't want me there at all?
That is so disgusting of you to say.
Huh? Disgusting of me to say? Is that really something you should be saying to one of your parents?
And I thought I just told you that I don't think of you as my father anymore, and I will never think of you that way again. I'm Mom's baby, but I know for a fact that I am not yours. I'm thinking that with this wedding, I'm going to cut ties to you for good.
Now you're planning on cutting ties to me too? I have been with your mother forever now. So does this mean you'll be cutting ties to her as well then? Do you not feel that you're taking things way overboard right now?
I don't plan on cutting ties to Mom, though. I'll just make sure that when you're around her, I stay away and come back to visit her another time. That's how badly I'm wanting to cut ties to you, all right?
I never thought that you'd ever be wanting something like that, Ray. What did I ever do that led you to think of me, your father, this way?
It's not that you did anything in particular to me. Rather, I just realized that you really are nothing more than a stranger to me. When you got married, you just assumed that you became a part of my family? Well, what I'm saying here is that that's not the case at all, and that you're not my family.
You don't have to say anything like that to me. I get that I'm not related to you by blood, and that I married your mom after you were already around. But that never stopped me from wanting to raise you like you were my own daughter. I had assumed you had always saw things the same way. I plan on being around for your wedding, alright? Even if it's just me, just showing my face for a brief second. I'd like to say a few words to you as well then.
Did something end up happening between you and Ray? I was just told by her that while you're around me, she has no plans of coming back home to see me. Don't you find that a little strange of her to be saying?
I was just texting with her a second ago. She told me not to come to her wedding.
What? What is going on now?
I'm not really sure what's gotten into her this time, but it seems she has some reasoning behind it. These past few months, she's seemed pretty cold towards me, and I'm starting to think there really is something about me she doesn't like.
But for so long now, you and her have been really close to one another, right? Yet now she's calling you a fake father to her, like she's never been around you before? I really am wondering what happened to her that's led her to think that way about you.
I'm not sure myself yet, but she's still young, and that's the way things are with young people sometimes. Maybe this is due to her becoming an adult now, and all the stress that surrounds her.
Maybe so. But I'm really hoping that there's something more solid as her reasoning. Wait. Oh, there is something I might have forgotten to mention, which could be what's wrong with her.
What did you never mention to me?
Oh, this has to do with my ex-husband, of all people.
What? Your ex-husband? Did something happen between him and Ray?
There is no seat prepared for you at this wedding, so go home already.
You have been saying that to me non-stop now. But are you really sure you want that from me? I have been the man watching over you like you've been my daughter for the past 20 years. I should be closer to you than your actual father.
And so what? I figured out that having a blood relationship is far more important to me than having been around someone for 20 years.
So you really are being serious about all this. Your mother brought you along when we married. But I gave my all, making sure to raise you the best I could. It's a shame that things had to change between you and I so quickly, and just before your wedding.
Shut up already. I don't want to listen to you going on and on anymore. I am not going to listen to whatever you say, and my feelings about all of this will never change. I've invited my real father to be here with me today, so get the hell out of here, you fake!
Your real father? Did you really invite your real father to your own wedding? When were you able to get in touch with him? Did you ever even talk with your mother before doing something like that? Do you have any idea what you've just done?
I don't have to listen to you go on about how what I'm doing is wrong. He is my actual dad, so you can just shut your mouth and go away. And remember that today is the day where I'm cutting ties to you for good. I have the real deal around me now, so there's no point in having some fake father buzzing in my ear still like a bug.
You've already gone ahead and asked me to leave your wedding, and told me that you're cutting ties to me. But do you have any idea what all of that will mean for you in the coming days? I'm sure you don't, do you? You're going to regret what all you've done here today.
Why would I ever regret cutting ties to a fake like you? I am 100% confident I'm doing the right thing right now, and there will be nothing that can stop me. I am finally going to be able to meet my real dad in person today. So, go away. If you don't, I'm going to have to ask my real dad to deal with you in person. You wouldn't want that for yourself, right? He happens to love me a lot as well, and I don't want him having to see you around me trying to act like you mean anything to me.
So that's how far you're wanting to take this.
I get that you did your best to get close to me while I've been a child, but this is going to be it between us, all right? A fake father who has no blood relation to me is to leave my wedding at once. If you don't leave this place before my dad gets here, then I'm going to call the police and have them take you away. Is that what you want me to do?
All right. I'll go home.
And make sure that you never talk or come near me again, okay?
I can do that for you. That's what you want me to do after all, right? So I'll go ahead and do that and leave your life for good. But remember, once you start to regret the decisions you've made here today, don't bother coming back crying to me. I am not going to listen to you beg for my help, and I sure won't bother with you again.
Huh? Who the hell do you think wants your help? You're just a fake. Good job trying to be my father for the past 20 years, but your time is up, and it's time for me to have the real deal in my life now. You're nothing to me now, you stupid man.
Well, if that's how you're going to say your goodbye, then there's nothing left for me to say. Then this is really it between us. I'll make sure we never have any ties to one another again. Goodbye forever, Ray. And thank you for all of the good memories. Congratulations on your wedding, and I hope you have a wonderful life with your husband. What is it? This is your third time calling me now, right? I'm not answering you again, alright? I'm going to drive home now, so don't expect to hear anything from me ever again.
Please, hurry up and come back to my wedding.
Huh? You want me to come back to the wedding now? Even though half an hour ago you were going off on me about how I'm nothing to you anymore. I'm not some toy for you to play with, Ray. Don't you dare think that you can just do and say whatever you want to me.
That is not the problem we should be focused on right now. Things have gone downhill for me very fast here.
But shouldn't you be celebrating your wedding right now? Nothing should have gone down that quickly for you, when today is supposed to be one of the most important days ever for you and your fiancé. What happened?
Today has been the first time I've ever been able to meet my real dad in person, but I found out he is crazy.
He's crazy?
I found out that for the past 20 years, he's been a part of this crazy gang. I never thought that my actual dad would turn out to be a man like this. What the hell am I going to do about him? I was never told that he was a part of a drug gang. He told me that the only reason he was never able to come and meet me is because for the past 20 years, he's been in prison serving time. What should I do here? He's here with members of his gang.
Well, you say that like you never meant to invite him and his gang today. Why are you so upset about how things turned out for you now?
Wait, did you know that he's been a part of a gang this whole time?
Of course I've known about him. And your mom has known about him as well. All the crap he's done while in that gang. Him being in that gang and having gone to prison is the reason your mom never talked about him with you. Ever. But you've really done it this time. Finding out about the real person that he is on the day of your wedding.
Mom never knew that I had been talking with him for the past few months. And when he came to the wedding hall, she panicked and ran off.
Well, I don't blame her for doing that. She probably never expected that her own daughter of all people would be the one to have a real father come to her wedding. Then he's a known criminal and part of a drug gang that's known for killing people. He also happens to be someone she doesn't want to be around whatsoever, so it's fair to her to have run like that. I've been thinking about how something bad might go down at your wedding. So I've been waiting for a little bit now to call the police and have them go to your wedding.
The police? You've been thinking things could get that badly out of hand this whole time now?
Well, of course I have been. That man that you call your real father happens to be crazy. He has been in prison for 2 decades now, right? Do you have any idea what the reason for him serving that much time might be? I'm sure you can imagine some reasons for it.
What? There's no way, right?
It's not something that I can really say to you myself. So just think of what he's done, and it's probably true.
The groom's guests are all freaking out right now because of him. If my dad doesn't leave really soon here, then something really bad is going to happen to my wedding. I know now that you are my real father after all, so can you please come back here right now and do something about that freak?
Do you have any idea what you're saying to me right now?
You can go ahead and forget everything I was saying about you before, all right? You and I have been family for the past 20 years now, so you still have huge feelings for me as your daughter, right?
I did have massive feelings for you as my daughter. And that's why I had raised you like my own for so long. But who was it that just stomped all over those feelings I had into a pulp? And then told me they wanted to cut ties forever? To me, you and I are nothing to one another anymore. So I'm going to give you a hard no on that stupid request to go back there.
What? No. What do you mean, no?
I am not going to go back to that wedding of yours. And since I'm no longer your father anymore, I can't lie to you about any of this.
Right now, the wedding is being put on hold until I go out there and talk with my real dad about what's going on here. I'm being told that the groom's family is wanting this wedding canceled and that they are all starting to leave now. What am I going to do about all of this? I'm trying to hide in the women's bathroom right now so that my real dad can't get me, but he's waiting out there for me because he really wants to talk. If nothing is done about all of this, then the wedding really is going to be canceled. Dad, please come here and help me fix this.
Do not stop calling me Dad now, just because the tables have turned on you so quickly. Go ask your real father to help you out. I'm sure he's open to doing that for you. I'm just a fake is all, and I was already told by you that you never want me coming around you ever again.
But at the time, I never knew my real dad was part of some drug gang. He just started to text me one day saying he was my real dad and that he wanted to be a part of my life again. He never said anything to me about some gang or his time in prison, so none of this can be blamed on me now, right? I never knew anything about the man he really is then. I was just tempted into wanting him to be my father because he said he was the real deal.
No, this is all your fault actually. You were the one that decided to keep talking to him for so long, and thought it would be a good idea inviting him to the wedding without ever telling your mom first. All you had to do was ask your mom who your real father really was, and none of this would have ever happened to you. I'm sorry, but you're not going to get out of this by trying to push that blame off onto someone else.
I just thought the reason my mom never told me anything about my real dad for the past 20 years was all a part of her plans to make me think of you as my real father. And that's why I went ahead and wanted you to leave me alone and for my real dad to come back for me. None of what's happening to me right now was supposed to happen. Do something about him. If anything, this was all your fault to begin with.
Did I not just tell you to not push your blame onto someone else like that? Why do you think you have any right blaming me for what you've gone and done there? I'm sorry, Ray, but I have nothing to do with you now. I was trying to warn you not to push me away like you did, but you chose to never listen to me. And now you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you're trying to come crying back to me over it? You really are such a brainless little baby.
Brainless baby? Do you really think calling me that right now is going to help anything for me?
I wanted to help you out by steering you away from this path, but it's too late for you now. I don't even want to talk with you about any of your problems anymore, Ray.
What do you mean? You cannot be that rude to me now, all right?
I'm just being honest about how I'm feeling now.
Why is that how you really feel about me now, though? You have to help me. You have to listen to me, and there is no reason why you should be thinking otherwise. You have been the one to raise me for the past 20 years now, so shouldn't you be wanting to help me?
And a little bit ago, you said what to me? That you wanted to cut ties to me forever?
Those were just words at the time. You shouldn't be taking what I said before to you that seriously, all right?
But I've already told you how I feel now, right? That you have your real father back now, so I'm no longer going to be responsible for you anymore. I think that after today, your mom and I are going to stop bothering with you anymore. And let your real dad spend some time with you for a change. You were the one saying you wanted that reality as well, right?
That's not what I was meaning by any of what I said before, so I'm sorry. Now come and help me already.
Not going to happen now. I'm sure you're pissed with yourself now for making such a stupid decision, right?
Don't say things like that about me. Please, Dad, wait. I know what I did recently was wrong. The only reason I've been so cold towards you recently is because I've been talking to my real dad. And, well, he's made me think it was all because of you that I was never able to go be with him any for the past 20 years.
He can say things like that to you all he wants. But him and Bailey both divorced before I even started to go out with her. And when I started to learn about you, you were less than a year old.
I'm sure I never spent any time with him, but he was the one that made you look as though you stole me from him. So forgive me for that, please. I'm sorry for saying so many terrible things to you before. I want you to be my dad and nobody else now.
I don't care about being your father anymore. No matter how many times you want me to be him. I'm nothing to you anymore, besides some stranger that's married to your mom. Now you and your drug-taking, people-killing gang of all father have a great time together. I'm not sure what'll happen to you after today, though, with him. But your mom and I aren't going to have any part of it. Isn't it wonderful that you were finally able to meet your real father? Have a great time with him. Well, I'm sure that won't be the case for you, though.
In the end, the wedding between Ray and her fiancé was cancelled, and her fiancé ended up breaking things off with her and running away. Then, soon after that, Ray's parents both moved out of town, never telling her where they went to next. So she was left with nobody else but her real father. Her real father then chose to force himself back into her home in order to start living together with her. And he's been using the house as his little hideout, while he starts getting back into his life of organized crime. He's even started having a lot of the other gang members coming over and staying at her place, so you could say she herself has become a part of them. She's even begun to regret all the choices she's made by letting her real father into her life. And any time she tries to call or text Jacob and Bailey, she is met with them both ignoring her. But I like to think that it's too late for her to have such regrets about the things she's done now, and should start moving on with her life. Had she just used that head that's on her shoulders to think things through a bit more carefully before acting, then maybe things would be a whole lot different than how they played out. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Alice, when are you going to come see us?
I plan to come see you during the long weekend in May. Why do you ask?
You're not going to come see us until May? Ugh, that is too far away. Can't you come over sooner? You're part of this family now. You should make time for your new family, too.
What do you mean by that?
Look, I've told you many times before, but I don't think you understand what it means to marry into this family. We have certain rules and traditions that need to be followed. We have certain expectations of you.
I see. You've told me this a million times, but I still don't seem to grasp the meaning of what you've been telling me.
You married my brother, so I'd like you to come visit more often with him. It's quite simple, really. And don't you think you're being rude to my parents as well? They miss having my brother around.
I don't think that I'm being rude to anyone.
That kind of thinking is what makes you rude. Now that you're married, you should think more about your in-laws and their needs. Don't you want them to like you? The happiness of your husband's family should be one of your top priorities now. Didn't your parents teach you any manners? I feel sorry for you that you grew up to be so clueless.
You're the one that doesn't have any manners. You shouldn't make negative assumptions about my parents. You don't even know them.
I'm not being rude, I'm just stating the facts.
The reason why I haven't been able to come visit you and your family often is because it's difficult for us to take time off work. We're both really busy. If we had the time, we'd come over. Your mother is very understanding about this, so I don't know why you're making such a big deal out of this.
My mom is only being nice to you because she doesn't want to be rude. Deep down, she misses seeing my brother. You shouldn't take her kindness for granted. You haven't been able to produce any offspring yet. Don't you want my parents to meet their grandchildren? I can't believe you're trying to make me look like the bad person here.
I'm not blaming anyone for this situation.
Well, I feel like you're neglecting our family. And you also have a pretty big attitude. I would act more modest around my in-laws. Also, don't you feel bad that you haven't been able to bear any children? I'm sure that deep down my brother and mother feel oh so disappointed. I don't understand why my brother chose you as his wife.
Now you're just being hurtful. Do you have to be so cruel to me? What have I ever done to you? The fact that Alan and I can't have any children is something that we need to work out together. It has nothing to do with you. Besides, I'm getting along just fine with your parents. You're the only one giving me a difficult time.
You got that right. I'm having a hard time getting through to you. I don't understand what Alan sees in you. You're not the type of person I can be friends with.
Wow, you're being honest today.
It's because you just don't get it. You use work as an excuse not to spend any time with us. Alan tells me that you make him do half the housework too. You don't have any children, so why shouldn't you have the time to take care of the house on your own? You shouldn't be asking for my brother's help. I really don't understand you. I feel sorry for your parents too. They have a lousy daughter.
What's it to you? Why do you care so much? I'm sick and tired of you complaining about everything. This is my marriage. Please, stay out of it.
You know that I'm right. You just don't want to admit it.
How much time do you have on your hands? Why do you message me every day? Don't you have anything better to do?
Why don't you get my brother to stop me if it bothers you so much? I'm sure that he's going to side with me, though. He values me more than you.
I do understand that you don't like me, but could you please stop being mean to my family as well? What do you have against us?
I'm just saying you're a lousy wife and daughter.
I heard that you got engaged. He met your parents, right?
How do you know that?
Your mother sent me a photo of you and him when he visited your house the other day.
Why would she do that? You don't have to worry about me, though. I'm going to be a great wife unlike you.
Do you know where your fiancé Kevin is from?
How do you know his name? It's very creepy of you. I don't want Kevin to meet you ever. You're an embarrassment to my family. I'd like you to divorce my brother. Please leave me and my family alone. We don't want anything to do with you.
You haven't answered my question. Do you know where Kevin is from?
He's from the town next to ours.
I'm from the same town as Kevin, you know.
Huh? What's that got to do with anything?
Kevin is my childhood friend.
What's your point?
I just think it's a big coincidence. Kevin and I used to be neighbors. We've known each other since we were small, and we went to the same school together until we graduated high school. I still see him a couple of times a year when we meet up with old friends.
Where are you going with this?
When I saw the photo that your mother sent me, I was shocked to find out that he's now engaged to you.
So you've known Kevin since he was a child? This isn't your idea of a sick joke, then?
This isn't a joke. Your fiancé is one of my best friends. Isn't that so weird?
Yes. It's very weird. In fact, it's kind of creepy. But I'm engaged to Kevin, and there's nothing that you can do about that.
Why would I do anything?
Don't you want to try and say mean things about me to Kevin?
I don't.
I'm sure you'd get a kick out of telling him what a bitch I am to you.
Look, I'm actually a decent person. You're the one bullying me. At least you seem to be aware of the fact that you're a bully to me.
Shut up. And don't say anything about me to Kevin. I finally got him to propose to me. I won't let you ruin this for me.
I see. I know that you've had a hard time finding someone to ask you out. You're lucky that you met Kevin.
Stop patronizing me.
You're 30 and in love with your brother. You're not exactly a catch. It's a miracle that you got Kevin to propose to you.
You're being rude again.
I'm sure that I'm nowhere near as rude as you. You know that, don't you? Or are you one of those people that hurt people and don't even realize it? If that's the case, Kevin is not going to be happy in his marriage.
Look, I get it now. If I apologize, will you not say anything to Kevin?
I think it's a little too late for that. My family and Kevin's family are really close. Kevin would be devastated if he found out what you said about me and my parents.
I had no idea you and Kevin were so close. I'm really sorry for my behavior up until now. I promise to be a better sister-in-law to you from now on. Will you forgive me?
That doesn't sound like a heartfelt apology to me. I'm not out to destroy your relationship with Kevin. I'm not evil.
And you won't say anything to Kevin then?
I don't plan to.
You're nicer than I expected.
Like you said, we're family now. Family is supposed to look out for one another, right? And I'd like Kevin to have a happy marriage. He means so much to me.
I think we started off on the wrong foot. You're actually a good person. I'm sorry I didn't realize that sooner.
So you're going to move in with Kevin's parents, right?
Well, we haven't talked about that yet.
Why not? Kevin told me that he expected you to move in with his parents.
I like living in this town. I don't want to move. There isn't much to do in Kevin's town, and I prefer living with my own parents. And I wouldn't have so much freedom if I had to live with Kevin's parents.
That makes no sense. You're the one that told me that once a woman gets married, she should move in with her in-laws.
It's a little different for me, you see? I already live with my own parents, so it doesn't make sense for me to move out. Kevin is going to move in with us. He told me that he's fine with that.
Does he know that you mean your parents' place and not his?
What do you mean?
If you only said live with your parents, he may have misunderstood you and thought that you were talking about his parents and not yours.
But if I'm the one using the word parents, normally that would mean my parents and not his, right?
Okay, if you say so. I was just a little worried because I know that Kevin divorced his ex-wife because she refused to move in with his parents. I figured that he would expect the same from you, that's all.
What?
I suppose he loves you more than his ex-wife. Lucky for you. If Kevin's okay with it, there's no issue here.
Wait a minute.
I wish you and Kevin all the happiness in the world.
You're not making any sense. I had no idea that Kevin was married before.
You didn't know? Why would he hide that from you? In fact, Kevin's been married twice before, and he has 3 children from his previous marriages. I assumed he told you that.
Well, he didn't. You're making this all up. You're just trying to get back at me.
I'm merely stating the facts here. I'm surprised that Kevin kept this from you. By the way, I let Kevin's mother know what kind of person you really are.
What did you say to her?
I told her that you knew how important it was for you as Kevin's wife to move in with them after you two are married. Kevin's mother really appreciated the fact that you were willing to move in with them. She was thrilled. Kevin's first wife moved in with them, but she had enough after 6 months of living together. And Kevin's second wife was resistant to moving in from the beginning. She's so happy that Kevin met you.
This is the first time I'm hearing of this. Kevin didn't say a word to me. I am not going to move in with Kevin's parents.
I guess you should say that to Kevin and his parents because they seem to think otherwise. But if you tell them how you really feel, Kevin may rethink his marriage to you. Is that really what you want? I mean, you were so desperate to get married. I can't see you meeting another man anytime soon.
I am not going to live with Kevin's parents, but I can persuade him to still marry me. I'm sure that he'll understand where I'm coming from.
Are you sure about that? Kevin's really old-fashioned in his way of thinking. And he loves his mother too much. He probably loves her more than he loves you. The two are inseparable, so I think that you'll have a hard time persuading them.
Really? I didn't know that Kevin was so close to his mother. What am I supposed to do then?
Also, I had a chat with Alan. I showed him all the messages that you sent me up until now.
Why would you do that?
I was angry, and I wanted him to know what you were doing to me. We both don't intend on coming over to your parents' house as long as you live there. And you won't be hearing from either of us again.
Why is Alan upset with me too?
He's upset because you don't know how to be nice to me. He used to love you, but after he saw how you were treating me, he was pretty upset. If you decide to move in with Kevin's parents, we can go see your parents whenever we want to. Don't you think that moving in with Kevin's parents is the best thing for everyone in this family?
Please ask Alan to forgive me. My mother will be upset if she finds out that Alan's angry with me.
This is your mess. You need to figure out a way to fix this yourself. Say hi to your new mother-in-law for me. Please don't message me ever again. Bye! Karen explained to Kevin that she wanted to continue to live with her parents and she asked him to move in with her. Kevin didn't want that because he didn't want to be separated from his own parents. Kevin told Karen that he would call off their engagement if she didn't agree to live with his parents, and if their engagement were to be called off, he would be asking her to pay him alimony. In the end, Karen ended up marrying Kevin and putting his needs before her own. But things didn't go so well for Karen. She found it tough and miserable to be living with her in-laws. On top of that, she saw that Kevin had to use a majority of his earnings to pay for child support for the children that he already had with his previous 2 wives. That didn't leave much money for Kevin and Karen, and so they were forced to live a frugal life. Also, Kevin cared a great deal for his mother and didn't pay much attention to Karen, which left her feeling very lonely. I guess karma gave Karen what she deserved in the end.